Okay. Okay, for those that don't know who Mr. Willie is, I wanted to share this with you right quick. He is an author, an entrepreneur, and he just published a book. When was that? In March, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes. So you can now get his book on Amazon. And so I wanted to show that right quick, a picture of his book, so that you will know what to look for on Amazon. Okay. All right, Mr. Willie, you go ahead and take it away. Let's hear what you have to share with us today on Doc Talks.
Well. First, I want to just thank you for having me here. It's really an honor and a pleasure. Um, wow, what a journey! What a journey! What a journey! Let's start off with I'm gonna be be present and go back. So the book is something that I've had. In fact, when I thought about writing the book, or when the title for the book back then was Mindset Ingredients. And what inspired me to do that is I have a dear friend by the name of Jeffrey Noble. Jeffrey Noble, and he was writing a book, and the idea is to write a book in one day. I don't know why I even thought I can do it, but he was doing it and I just took it on. I didn't even let him know that I was doing anything. So I spent the whole day just writing some stuff. And I was just sharing my thoughts on paper. And in the end, it was like, okay, I did it and I didn't do anything else with it. And it wasn't until maybe years later, probably 10 years later, that I took a course with Myron Golan. It was a 5-day boot camp, and it was called Make. The title of the boot camp was Make More Money Offers, and that's where the inspiration really took hold. And I said I needed to do something with this. So I went to Jamaica for 5.5 days. Put myself in an apartment, and I went to work. So the building the relationship, this new title that I gave him is that one of the things that I've experienced over my years of living, I'm 62 today, I'll be 63 in September, is that a lot of us, myself included, I had to come over that hurdle, but we don't really like who we are. And I think more importantly, we don't like all that we are. And what I mean by that is we reach a certain status in life, and then we have these skeletons in our closets that we just keep a secret. We don't want to share. We don't want to talk about because they seem to bring on this thing of embarrassment, etc., etc., etc. But truth of the matter is, you wouldn't be where you are without that experience, regardless of how painful it was. And in some cases, how painful it still is because some of us are stuck there. So, the purpose of my writing this book and sharing my own personal story is through that. The hope would be that you can actually take the opportunity, or what I call take the chance of exposing yourself to yourself. Because at the end of the day, if you don't trust who you are, then nobody else will. Nobody else will. People will come, and a lot of times we think it's the quote unquote bad people that do harm to us, but sometimes we train good people how to mistreat us because we are currently mistreating ourselves. We don't sleep well, we don't drink, we don't rest well, we don't take supplements, we don't do a lot of things, and then when we should speak up, we don't. So what happens is we're constantly training people how to treat us. And when you're not treating yourself good, then guess what? You invite others to do the same.
That's phenomenal. That is phenomenal. And that is so true because a lot of times people don't think about their health until a disaster strikes them, till the doctor says, the one with the white coat and the stethoscope on tells them, look, if you don't do something, this is going to happen, or this has already happened, and now your health and life is at risk. Then people want to jump into, action and start taking care of themselves. But we need to do preventive maintenance on our health.
Absolutely. 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 And that's all aspects of health, your mental, your physical, your spiritual, all of those things, they matter. To actually be depleted in any one of those areas will eventually affect everything.
That's right. That is so true. I fell and I wasn't even thinking about my health up until that point. And then the Lord gave me a health ministry because I had to go and learn how to eat healthy in order to recuperate, in order to get myself back to where I was before I fell and lost my memory, had all kind of motor skill issues. I
Wow.
was a mess. And so now mental health and brain health is my niche.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
So we have to be mindful and realize that, if I don't take care of this body, who's going to do it? Who's going to do it?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Absolutely. And this is not, for me, this is not about being conceited, arrogant, or selfish. In fact, I think a lot of people throw the word around and they really don't even understand what it means. When you are selfish, you're only thinking about yourself. You're not. You're not looking to serve others. Or when you get around people, it's just to get what you need to get and keep it moving. As long as you're not doing that, then you're not being selfish. You're not being arrogant. But without you, again, being at your best, in other words, you have to be at 100%. It's not about, we do this kind of relationship thing. I'm 50% and you're 50%, and we come together and try to complete each other. No, you need to be 100%. He or she needs to be 100%. And when you join together, you build on that. It's 100 plus, not 50-50.
I believe that. I remember last June when you and your wife Daria were on, we had the summit for
Yes.
the Go Sisterhood. And I tell you, that testimony that you all gave, you are really the power couple of New York. And I understand why, because you all have come together, like you say, both given 100%, both bringing in your all to make the relationship work. And that's what it takes. That's what it takes. And a lot of people, like you say, don't realize it. They're talking about 50-50 instead of both bringing 100 of themselves to the plate, to the table.
Absolutely.
Mhm. And that's what you have to do. You both have to participate. You both have to be all in.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
so
Without a doubt.
I have a question for you.
Sure.
Can you share a story about your business where you came to a point where, okay, I have to pivot because something major has happened and you had to go to plan B? Can you share that with
Oh,
the entrepreneurs?
well, it ironically, that's exactly where we are right now. Well, I should say I am right now. We I've been in this industry of online marketing for over a decade. Um, I followed my wife into this. Actually, when we started, a friend of mine who shared with me about the shopping center. That was a big whole thing back then. And because of who I knew her to be, we got involved. And shortly after, we never got started, but she went back to doing her hair salon thing, and she kind of introduced us to somebody else that was kind of taking over, but nothing ever happened. And I was like, okay, I'm done. But Daria, she stuck with it. She kept looking for opportunities that reflect that type of lifestyle whereby you can actually do your work online. We were both Still working. She both educators, and it was like, okay, well, you go ahead and do that, and I'm going to continue doing what I was doing, and I was going to school part time. So fast forward, here we are, 10 years in, and we got involved in a venture that was very popular. The concept was amazing. We really bought in. We thought this was going to really revolutionize the banking industry, and all of a sudden, like a zip line, it just went right across and dipped. So a lot of times when you have these experiences, it doesn't leave a good taste in your mouth, doesn't leave a good feeling in your heart, because you kind of feel all kinds of emotions. You feel misled, you start questioning yourself, and so on and so forth. And what you have to remind yourself is, this is the cost of doing business. There's no person who's actually been in business for any length of time that can't give you a story when things didn't go well, or when things went awry, or everything went flat. You lost everything, or whatever it is. So pivoting is all about taking another chance, another opportunity. You take your failures as experiences, not as failures. Because guess what? Every experience, whether it be positive or negative, makes your instincts, in my view, more sharper. So you just don't stop because of a setback, right? You reset, or you use the word, you pivot. So that's where we are right now. We are heading to a convention coming this Friday, and we're ready to just, to get our fires relit, and keep it moving.
And
And
that's
that's
what
pretty
you
much
have to do. Yeah, yeah, that's what you have to do. I
there's
hear
no
people
science
say,
to this, there's no magic potion,
no,
it's not instant. It never was. It
no,
looks that way, but it's not.
no,
It's not.
no, it's not. Rome wasn't built in a day. And
No.
I love the show with the sharks and how they talk about their businesses. You have to have multiple streams of income. And I feel
Oh,
like
no
this,
doubt.
a lot of people say, oh, you're doing too much and blah, 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 blah. Look, you need to go watch the Shark Tank. I want to have as many businesses as it's going to take for me to continue to stay with income coming in. We have bills to come in every month. We need income coming in every month. And
Absolutely.
you have to have multiple streams of income. And that's just the bottom line. I am not going to put all my eggs in one social media basket. That's
Yeah.
my motto. So you have to have more, you have to have more businesses.
And I think if people, again, took the time to learn, knowledge is more powerful to you when you are seeking it versus when you're being spoon fed. This whole notion of that you can sit down and get information through social media or watching the news. I heard it put, so by the time something hits the news, it already happened. So what good is it to you? You know, um, if you take the time to study any person who has money, you'll learn that they also have multiple streams of income. What do you think they do with all that money? How do you think they continue to amass all that money? They have to have multiple streams of income, whether it be through investments, whether it be through different ventures, etc., etc. And all of that requires a risk. Does Warren Buffett lose money? Of course he does. But experience helps him manage it better so he loses less. And that applies to whomever, Gates, Zuckerberg, you call the name. The story is the same.
That's right. None of them have not had to pivot. They've all had to pivot at some point. Being a business person, that's just part of life. And,
Absolutely.
a couple weeks ago, I lost my virtual assistant. I had to go first get on Fiverr and hunt for another one. That took time.
Mm,
Interviewing people, that took
mm,
time.
mm.
And so we have to be able to do what we have to do and keep moving forward. That's just the bottom line. That is the game and life of an entrepreneur. Staying
Amen.
on top of things, knowing when to pivot, you know, having a plan B or something in place that, okay, well, I can go do this or I can go do that. And, even networking, being around other people that can give you ideas. When I first met Daria, I've been on her show several times, and we didn't know each other. We met each other online. And
Mm,
look what has happened because of that. Because of that, you all were able to fly here to Houston to a conference. I was able to go and meet with you, have lunch, you know, and now I have actually published a book for you. That
yeah,
would have never happened if I
I
wouldn't have
know.
stepped out and networked, which is so important. People forget networking is number one. You've got to network and meet people. You've got to put yourself out there. You cannot be a ghost entrepreneur. That's not going to work.
No,
So,
it's not. No, it's
yeah,
not. No, it's not. No, no matter how good you think you are,
that's
if
right.
nobody knows what you're doing, then you're all on this journey all by yourself.
Yes, that's exactly right. And so we need each other, and so many
Absolutely.
people don't realize we need each other, you know. So if
Absolutely.
you're not helping your colleagues promote their business, then don't look for people to, people just sit back. They want people to help them and promote them, but they're not going to do anything to help you, you know. And that's so wrong.
Yeah, it is.
That's so
It
wrong.
is
We need each
indeed.
other.
It is indeed. It
That's
is
right.
indeed.
We really
You
do.
know, it's so funny you mentioned that. Darry and I were on a cruise just what last month. What
Mhm.
was last month? Earlier this month. And I went we went to Cancun and I was looking for some boots. So we got off the ship and got past the plaza and we were in the different boutiques.
Mhm.
And I just happened to see some gentlemen who were standing outside of a jewelry store and they wanted me to come in and say, listen, I'm just looking for some boots. So one guy stopped and he went back, got a card, and wrote a name on it and pointed me in a direction. So I went to that particular location.
Mhm.
So I got in there, and then the gentleman who I was referred to came, spoke to me, and he did a great job. I purchased some boots, and when I was paying for it, he asked me if I could pay a portion of it in cash
Mhm.
because without saying it, I knew he wanted to compensate the guy who referred me,
Yes.
who referred me to him.
Right.
It was clear and open as day.
Yeah.
And if you if you're thinking in terms of wow, you know what, I might have paid an extra $20 or whatever it is
Mhm.
for that whole transaction. You know what? If you're happy with what you got, I'm all for it.
That's right.
I'm all for it
That's right.
because there were other. As I left the shop with my boots, I was walking along and there were other places. But you
Yes.
know what? I didn't see what I bought.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
I didn't see what I bought, and I know I got a good deal because I went online looking and doing the research, and I was like, "Oh wow, I really got a good bargain."
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, referrals or supporting people
That's right.
is priceless.
That's right.
And if you practice that, you're always going to win.
That's right. You will.
You're always going to win.
Mhm. That is the truth. That is the truth. So, Mr. Willie, what do you have planned for the future? Now that you've written a book, is there another book in the wings, or do you have anything you want to share? Any advice for other entrepreneurs, or what you have planned for the future?
Well, plans for the future is to first and foremost to stay healthy. That's important to me now as I get older.
Mhm.
That's first and foremost. In terms of another book, some little bird tweaked in my ear, and as well as my wife, to talk about doing the book as for as couples.
Mhm.
And I really and truly think that would be really not only exciting but very very helpful because there's a lot of people out there who are together but they're not together. And I
Yes,
think if they just learned, just it's just like in the business when you stay the path and you start learning from more experienced entrepreneurs, you start learning that you weren't that far off. All you needed was a tweak.
that's
So
right.
I think Darren and I putting together something will be a nice element to help people tweak their relationships.
Awesome.
So that's one thing that I see down the road. The other thing is to continue to build on the multiple streams of income that we currently have, to increase them and have them up and running like a well-oiled machine. Um, Advice for entrepreneurs, I think the advice is really simple, but I think don't downplay it. Stick to the path that you're on. Whatever company you're with, if you really believe in what they're doing and it
Mm-hmm.
really matches up with your DNA, stick with it until you make it work. You know, the shiny object things are great. They can be great. But at the same token, if you find yourself running around looking for that quote unquote ideal situation, there is none.
Mm-hmm. No, there isn't.
There's no perfect company. There's no perfect compensation plan. There's only your stick to itiveness, if I said that right.
Mm-hmm.
Because only out of your dedication and your devotion to that particular thing will you be able to reap the rewards of your labor. If you're spread out too thin, then basically you're just gonna wind up being thin.
That's true.
You know, so that that that's uh that's uh that's what I think anyway.
Okay, awesome, awesome. Well, I'm going to see if there's anybody that wants to unmute and ask a question, or if you have a comment, please unmute. Okay. All right, then. Well, I want to thank you, Mr. Willy, for coming on and sharing all that good information with us. I'm
Thank
looking
you.
forward to working with you and Daria again on another book.
Yes.
And I'm
Yes,
even
absolutely.
looking forward to more things that you're going to be doing with this book in the future. I know you have um, some places lined up, right, where you're going to do a book signing.
That's
So
correct. That's
make sure I get that information so that I can
absolutely.
start putting it on your author page, and make sure you're passing that around your author page so people can check it out and see what information is on there. New stuff that you have coming up, all that I can be posting on there for you.
Awesome.
So we
Awesome.
can
Awesome. Awesome.
keep the
Once
money
again,
flowing with your book, right?
yes, absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much again. And thank you for all for jumping on. Jane and Nasir, Evelyn. I appreciate you. Daria and Khadija is in the air right now, so they probably lost connection.
Mm-hmm.
But God bless everyone. And until the next time, stay well.
Okay. All right. Well,
Bye bye
you
now.
all have a blessed rest of your day. This is Dr.
Take care.
Kathleen signing off for Doc Talks. Bye bye.